Hey, what's going on? I'm director Elias Rodriguez and writer, and we have Tamara.
Hello.
Star of ThinkTwice, and Javi.
Hey.
Two-time star of ThinkTwice. And so yeah, we just did a commentary on it, but we want to get a little bit more in depth because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Starting from the drone shot. You're so tiny in the little camera. The original shot, I wanted to get it like right over your shoulder, but then we were in Chicago in the wind tunnel of the skyscrapers.
I mean, it's honestly impressive what you got out of a first-time flight.
Yeah, totally.
Flying a drone.
Yeah.
Also, to be very candid with all of you, I was pretty hungover that morning.
Yeah.
Pretty hungover. So
You had this sprint.
we're sprinting over and over.
Yeah. What I want to do on my hungover days.
So then your stand-in, who was a very cut, ripped man.
This dude is the antithesis of my looks, but he's my stand-in. I met him in the elevator to the actual shooting location,
And you didn't realize.
and I didn't know it was him. I was like, "Oh, that guy is my stand-in." First scene we had, the very first scene was I'm fighting with him with a pistol, and within our first 2 or 3 blows, I hit him directly on the forehead with the pistol. Oh shit!
You okay?
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Colin.
I was like, is it Colin? I was like,
He was
I'm
a
sorry,
sweetheart.
Colin. And I hit
He
him.
was a sweetheart.
But then when Tamara came in, so I felt like every time I was directing Tamara, I was already just shouting because I wanted her to shout, like the urgency. So I was like, and action! Just
You're
like
doing great!
And action!
I'm gonna shoot whoever's my asshole, self-centered boyfriend who doesn't remember any of this.
Damn, that was great. Just went with it.
I mean, yeah, so I film weekly for a show called Nostalgia Critic, and we don't have to learn our lines beforehand. We show up and like go line by line, and like I've been on professional shoots and things, but it had been a second, and so I show up and I see all these people here, and I'm like, oh no, I mean, good, this is amazing, but this is like a professional shoot, oh man, and so I was like, I better make sure I know my lines. Get it together. So when you were directing me, I was probably just like blank face, like, oh god,
So
keep it together, Tamara.
That's it. That's your secret. She won Best Actress, by the way, at Blue Whale Comedy Festival, which is super legit. So
This thing went far though. It got a lot of awards.
yeah, a bunch of awards. We won an award in Wales, Cardiff, Wales.
Oh, I
Which
didn't
is
know that.
crazy.
I lost track.
Yeah, and in Wales, when we were in this small like projection room, the guy who was sitting with the projector was leaned in next to me, and he was like, "Is that Tamara from Nostalgia Critic?"
I like the accent,
yeah. I was like, that blew my. It was my first time out of the
Tamara
country,
from Nostalgia,
and all of a
dude.
sudden, like,
That's
Tamara's
so
like super
cool.
famous.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
so nice. Oh
I did
my
get
God.
that for the first film festival we went to. I didn't know her from that, and
Yeah.
I got like at least 5 to 10 people asking me,
Nice.
"Is she from Nostalgia Critic?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, she is."
I
Okay.
think. I don't know, man.
I think so. I think so.
I love the music in this short film.
And it's by Mark Derrico. Like I found his website, found him on Facebook.
Really?
And heard this song, and we were gearing up to film, and I'm like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually did an animatic, so I took stills of these guys. I'll put a little preview right now.
Oh my God, I
of
forgot
you
about
guys.
that.
And I'm gonna play
Oh.
that. I'll
I just-
release that later. There's stills of Tamara holding a water gun.
Yeah,
And-
agreed. It was my
yes.
profile picture
Yes.
for a while.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
And so I took his song and these guys acting out on a table read, and so it's
Oh
pretty
my
amazing.
God.
I knew this was the song and this was the composer. And then here's a first split screen, just right down the middle. Like there's a couple. This is like the old school, but I added the fake kind of shake going on, and ideally many people don't notice it's going on.
Oh my god, what the hell is going on?
Baby, it's me. Shoot him. He's my
This is another green screen where it's just straight up, but in the same room. That's the secret. You got to get that lighting right, the same lighting from the window.
Yeah.
But there was just Javi in the front with a green screen.
It looks incredible.
Hey, Birth. It's complicated. No.
And the whip hands, that's the secret filmmakers.
Yeah,
Make them
yeah.
seem like they're in the same room.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Elias let me wing a lot of the reactions. There was about, let's say about 50% lines.
I should just say
50%
I like
just-
have a reel of the 40 reactions.
Yeah.
I would watch it. That's we
50
got one view. That's
Oh, I would
That's
watch
just, yeah. I should start a channel. That's about
one
my
a
views.
day.
All the reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like more than my Tinder profile. So, I think it worked
Yeah,
out.
I'd swipe right on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
Yeah, is that good?
A shout out to my producer Patrick Flanagan. We were talking about the makeup because I didn't even think about having a makeup artist there, and he was like, "You have to have the makeup."
Yeah, Shannon.
Shannon Rodriguez.
Shannon Rodriguez.
Last name, love
Yeah.
it.
She's awesome, and she's
Yeah.
killing it too. She
Heck
lives in New
yeah.
York.
Look her up.
But like, especially
She-
for continuity, like that's so important
Right.
to
Yeah.
have.
Yes.
For the continuity thing about Shannon, I had the stand-in. Apparently, I have a mole, a couple of them back here. She put a mole on Colin's neck, and I was like, "What is that? What are you doing?" She's like, "You have a mole." I was like, "What? I have a mole in the back of my neck." She, they did it. Continuity did a great job. Shannon did a
Yeah,
great job.
Anna,
They
great continuity.
to
You're
every
right.
little bit. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think the mole's in the poster. Just saying.
It's credited. It's tiny
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
I think that's a trick question. Pretty sure I didn't say that.
Hello.
Ooh. Maybe we can ask.
Yeah, let's just break this down. So it's two Javis, and completely separate from that is Tamara.
Hello. I've got a gun, so. No.
But I didn't time any of this together. Even just Javi talking to Javi, we just kind of blindly, and it just, it just synced up his reactions
Are
to
you
himself.
serious?
Yeah, I had a couple of takes, so luckily we were able to
Yeah.
figure it out. But even the eyesight, we didn't line up at all. So that's what you'll see in the breakdown is that when you get rid of the black bars, the top of the head on the right or the left is like just completely chopped off.
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe we can ask for a pass on this one?
I've done a split screen before for like a joke in a video, and it didn't turn out well at all. Like me talking to myself, like I knew the script, it should have worked, but
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great.
When is my birthday? Just guess within 5 days and I will give it to
Do
you.
you actually know her birthday?
Yep.
Sure do.
He's checking Facebook!
Well, yeah, Facebook tells me everyone's birthday, so
Yeah.
I would.
Oh yeah,
That's-
I pretend like I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
when
Oh yeah.
I feel actually like the way this started was because Facebook. I was going to so many film networking events and I couldn't remember people's names, and then I'm a friend with them on Facebook. Let me go check, and that was probably the first thing that gave me the idea for this whole thing.
Yeah.
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 Though if you like to make the rules, I can be submissive too.
Maybe like, do you want to? I could be submissive too.
Though if you like to make the rules, I can be submissive too.
I love
Is that your submissive face? Can we see
No,
that?
that's
right
it. What was it? It was. I can't even do it. It's like so repressed in my memory. It's
That
like,
should
oh
be
my
the
god.
thumbnail. Is just all of us going.
Oh my god. Every time I see it, I was like, that's what you came with, Javi. All right. That was it. And I think at one point in one of those where I was gonna do this, but I was hurt because I got punched and there was like a blood.
Oh
bleeding
right,
thing.
yeah.
I was supposed to
'cause-
go like. Oh.
Yes. Oh, you did. There's a take of that where
Really?
like there was
Oh, okay.
there's a cut on your mouth, and then you accidentally like touch it. Yep.
Oh, I thought that was part
Yeah,
of
but it wasn't showing up on the big screen or the camera that well. So.
Right. Yeah. And like, dude,
That-
she just does it.
Took a while.
I know, right? That's the thing. There's like no real motivating and I wrote it. Oh yeah, that was
Armando.
Yeah,
And-
that's the guy running who says who does Deuces, right? That's our executive producer. Awesome guy. Funded us.
He is awesome. Yeah, he's so awesome. But like that was such an exciting part of filming that day was the squib. And seeing it go off was so impressive. I took like a slow motion for Instagram. It was really cool.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
You need to rip
stole
that
it.
video. Show it right now.
Yeah.
I stole it. Click on this link right here to see the squib shot.
How did it feel to have? You had to react right after.
It didn't. I couldn't feel much. It just felt like a little pop. But
That's scary because it's like one take. Like you can't do that a million
I
times.
think we had two.
Two.
We
Okay.
had two.
Yeah.
And the first one was the test shot, and it worked okay.
Actually, so that's another composite that I did. I think I took the first squib from the first shot, but then your reaction and the blood splatter from the second shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It hurt because we didn't have any padding. We had a card,
Oh, right.
Right.
what is that? I don't know, nothing, and everybody's coats. So
Yes.
essentially, I was falling back on everybody's coats.
I
and
remember that.
I'm not
yeah.
a trained anything, so I had to fall back on the coats, and I missed them a good.
Yeah,
good
and
amount
that's
of
why
times.
the rest of the film you had to be on the ground because, you
Yeah,
couldn't walk
because I was
Yeah.
incapacitated and I broke
for
something.
a couple of months. Yeah.
It was for a couple months. I stayed there. Fun fact. I lived there for a good amount of time.
Oh, damn, baby. Oh, damn, baby, damn. Ah!
I love you poking.
This is a highly quoted "damn baby damn." This is totally improvised by this guy.
Improvised part.
Damn, baby, damn.
Poking the thing.
Damn, baby.
I don't know why the poking thing I wanted to put in there because I felt like that's something I would do. Like, it's real. It's happening.
Because he's so like immediately pretty forgiving. Like I'd be pissed. Like I'd be so mad if someone shot me. But you're like still acknowledging, like, damn, baby.
Willing to hear your side.
Yeah. Like overall, pretty good guy.
Because he's stressed. He had his twin. He doesn't know. His world's flipped
You
upside
shot the
down.
good guy. You shot the
Yeah.
good guy.
Like maybe he doesn't know my birthday, but overall,
Yeah.
like good guy.
That was actually another thing. Like, so this was supposed to be a dystopian future where, like, outside the window you would see like buildings on fire and smoke. And that was my original plan for
Like,
this.
that's why she has the gun,
and
that's
that he
why.
was like also a clone and stuff. And so like it was just all this kind of high stress pressure situation.
We had an opportunity for that. There was a major fire that the second day
Oh yeah.
outside. There was a huge fire,
Oh yeah.
like a
about
good
that.
mile away. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
Insert
think I think
Trivial
they
facts
survived.
from. There you go.
Chicago in 2016.
Look it up.
Really?
Hell no, woman! I don't remember that type of thing. Damn!
That's like my last favorite composite. So
Was it?
she was crying in the shot before, and I'll have this up on screen. So she was crying in this shot, and then the next shot there was no tear in her top right eye. So I took the tear literally from the other shot and tracked it to this eye and
No
show that. Yeah,
way.
it's nuts because I was like, oh, that's gonna be so clear that she is not teared up at all.
No way.
And so that little corner of your eye.
Oh my God.
Is
Damn, the one
attracts-
tear I got out.
Actually, wasn't remorseful at all.
I'm gonna go get chicken wings and Netflix and chill.
Yeah. And then stay tuned for the sequels, though, because we're gonna have. So I thought about this pretty thoroughly. So we have Think Twice for a Second, where the beginning, the intro scene is these. They're at a movie theater, so it's the one that survived, the Tony that survived, and they're just eating Raisinets, and then in comes the other Tony, all still bleeding out, and he's still alive. And they're like shushing him because they're trying to watch the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he reaches in for the Raisinets. And then the next one would obviously be Think Thrice. So that is when you are all now living together
course.
in a condo, and then a doorbell rings and you realize you have a triplet. and
Oh
then
my God. But it's played by
yes.
someone else.
right, yes. Right, because then I can't do that.
it's
green
a
screen.
dog.
That's yeah.
It's too
And then
much green
It's an
screen.
animal.
and
And
then
I shoot all of them.
the fourth one would be Think Twice, Fourth the Last Time. And then the fifth one would be Think Men and a Baby. So,
Oh, there we go.
all of the three hobbies now have twins themselves.
Wow.
Yeah. And then-
Wow.
I thought I'm on this, and then if anybody wants to fund this, and then there's Think Five.
Think 5.
Where you guys are now driving cars
Yeah.
and have
Think 5
high-speed
Tokyo
chases.
Drift.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's Think Twice, which is the 7th installment. Then it jumps straight to Think X.
Think
in
X in
space.
space, in
Yes.
space, yeah.
And then
Yeah, I'm down for that one.
Yeah, Think 11, where now the whole family is like robbing the Bellagio. So
Oh
Right,
my
of course.
God.
Naturally.
that's it. So
What a good way to wrap up the series, though.
exactly.
At least
Totally.
I'm getting work for at least a little bit
Yes.
of time.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
have our future set.
Totally.
I'm good. I'll do that from now on. I'm good.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this commentary.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. That was so much fun.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I ran out of beer a long time
It's
ago.
empty. Bye.
All right, guys.